Good day, Delaware National Guard, and welcome to the September 2014 edition of the DNG News. Unfortunately, this month, many of our soldiers are not participating in the unit training assembly weekend. I am sure you might have heard rumors as to why drill was postponed or maybe canceled, but I'll be up front with you. Some states overspent on its Army National Guard budget during this fiscal year. So to balance the budget, each National Guard had to give back a dollar amount based on its end strength. The end result is all states are faced with the same situation, and the postponing of training is happening nationwide. Of course, this is a blow to our training and our readiness. But more importantly, we recognize that it's also a burden to our number one priority, and that's you, our people. We know some soldiers and families count on this income to pay bills. We also know that you've blocked out this time on your calendar to train, and we didn't hold up our end of the deal. For this, you have my deepest sympathies and my apologies. I also wanted to let you know that our entire Army leadership team is doing its very best to work with the National Guard Bureau and to find a solution so that we can still make up the training later this month. Before we talk about the great things the Army Guard was up to last month, there was some Air Guard news that we didn't get to in the August edition. July saw a new Eagle awarded at the Air Base. Here's Staff Sergeant Nathan Bright with that story.
On Saturday, July 12th, airmen from the 166th Operations Group and from across the base gathered at the Ops Theater to witness the promotion. Michelle Kerwin, the commander of the 142nd Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron, was promoted to colonel in front of friends and family. Pinned by her support team, her mom, and her husband, himself a retired former AES commander, Colonel Kerwin wanted a swift ceremony to get back to work. She took command of the Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron in October of 2012. She works full-time as a professor at the School of Nursing at Towson University.
My congratulations to Colonel Michelle Kerwin. I expect continued greatness and dedication from you. Now, for more current news, the Delaware Air National Guard got outside the gate in August to strengthen its ties in the community. Here's Staff Sergeant Nathan Bright again.
19 Delaware Air National Guardsmen, mostly from the Force Support Squadron and Security Forces, took to the streets on Tuesday night. The airmen supported the National Night Out by interacting with communities and having some fun.
We've been helping out. We had some water ice. We handed out water ice. We handed out some water bottles. We also had some materials from the Air National Guard, and we also handed them out and trying to, let them know about the airlift wing.
The National Night Out is called America's Night Out Against Crime by the National Association of Town Watch. Its aim is to promote community involvement and neighborhood camaraderie. With Delaware's hometown force at 3 parks in Wilmington, Haynes, Helen Chambers, and Judy Johnson, the 166th Airlift Wing is always ready to lend a helping hand.
Now let's talk about the Army National Guard. Following tradition, we once again participated in the Peach Festival Parade. Brigadier General Begley was the Grand Marshal leading the parade, and the greatest band in the land, our very own 287th Army Band, through the streets of Middletown. The weather was great, and a good time was had by all. Throughout August, soldiers from the 238th General Support Aviation Battalion returned to Fort Hood for the demobilization process. While they were at Fort Hood, their UH-60 Blackhawks were being delivered 2 at a time to our Army Aviation Support Facility. 3 separate deliveries were made by C-17s. It's great to have our soldiers and their helicopters back on U.S. soil. Later in the month, several members of our Army National Guard participated in the MAC 2 Regional Marksmanship Competition from August 21st to the 24th. Take a look at this story about the competition from Officer Candidate Wendy McDougall.
Top marksmen from the region gather at Fort Indiantown Gap for the 3-day MAC 2 regional competition. Throughout the course of the exercise, marksmen compete individually and as part of a team. Matches range from the Bianchi battle, which includes shotgun, pistol, and rifle components, to the excellence in competition for the rifle and pistol. At the conclusion of the event, the top teams and individuals are recognized. Top teams from each region across the country move on to the All-Army competition at Fort Benning. Reporting from Fort Indiantown Gap, I'm Officer Candidate Wendy McDougall.
Before we go, I just wanted to remind everyone that September is Suicide Prevention Month. Take a look at this message from our Suicide Prevention Program Manager.
Hello, I'm Don Daly, the JFHQ Suicide Prevention Program Manager for the Delaware Army National Guard. The Suicide Prevention Program is committed to providing training and education to soldiers and family members to increase awareness and knowledge about suicide prevention and intervention to reduce suicidal behavior. In addition to annual Unit ACE training, ACE-SI and Assist Suicide intervention classes are offered throughout the training year by my office. All soldiers and family members are encouraged to come to classes with an open mind and ready to learn how we can save lives together. September is Suicide Prevention Month, and all are welcome to the Veterans Mental Health Summit and Wellness Carnival on September 10th at Embassy Suites in Newark. The winning poster of the Suicide Prevention Month poster contest will be on display. Stop by my office anytime this month to participate in the Tree of Life interactive exhibit. My office is in the Behavioral Health Suite, room 1148 at the Armed Forces Reserve Center, and I can be reached at 302-326-7098 for more information about the program and upcoming events. Please remember the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number, 1-800-273-TALK or 8255. Thanks for listening and watching out for your battle buddy, and don't let your guard down.
Thank you, Mr. Daly. August was a historic month, and we kicked it off in style. Finally, after 35 years, the Joint Force Headquarters has graduated from the old elementary school to a brand new state-of-the-art building. On August 1st, I was overjoyed to host our Commander-in-Chief, Governor Jack Markell, our congressional delegation, and the Chief of the National Guard Bureau, General Frank Grass, and the Chief of the Navy Reserve, Vice Admiral Robin Braun, for the official ribbon cutting of the Armed Forces Reserve Center. Take a look at this video of the ceremony by Brandywine Electronics Limited.
On behalf of the Delaware National Guard, I would like to present you both with a picture of this remarkable building. I question whether I would live to see this glorious event. I made it to the promised land. After, as you say, wandering 35 years in the old Guard Little Elementary School, we have graduated.
For 15 years, almost 2 decades, it's just extraordinary.
I am so grateful for our Congressman and Governor Mike Castle, for Senator Kaufman and former Senator Biden, and for Senator Carper, for all the hard work they did to make this building possible, to make this $48 million state-of-the-art facility possible, for the men and women of our Guard and Reserves, for the people of the state of Delaware, and for our nation.
Senator Carper, Senator Coons, couldn't do it without you.
And something we know better probably than anybody else. We know this, that you are the leadership.
Governor Markell, Senator Carper, Senator Coons, General Grass, Vice Admiral Braun, General Babel, General Chambers, General Timmons, Commander Schlemmer, Congressman Castle, Colonel Rhodes, Colonel Prosser, and Mr. Vito. 2, 1,
Also in August, a very significant month, we had a very, very noteworthy event. The 359th birthday of our Delaware National Guard. We can trace our lineage and our history back to August the 31st, 1655. Many say I was around to see it that day, but I missed it by a few years. Well, that's all we have for this month. Thank you for all that you do for your community, our state, and our nation. May God bless you, your families, those deployed in harm's way, and may God continue to bless these great United States of America.